welcome back to the TV show where we're going to cover American Horror Story Coven. And there's going to be a lot of spoilers. So, you know, if you didn't watch it, don't watch this. We're going to be covering the first episode of Bitchcraft and last night's episode since we didn't get to do that. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Philip DeFranco.
I'm Elliot Morgan.
We start off in New Orleans in the 1800s. And we've got this crazy woman played by Kathy Bates. What's her name?
Madame Lalaurie or something like that.
And she's torturing slaves in her attic. She's a very notorious serial killer in history, and it's all gruesome and scary.
Yeah, and then was it her daughter ends up having sex with one of the quartermasters, whatever the fuck they called slaves.
Yeah.
It's just, you terrible people for having slaves. I was a woman of my time. Fuck you, bitch. You had slaves.
After that, it moves into sort of the main storyline, which basically consists of witches being a sort of genetic thing that's passed down from generation to generation. It skips generations, blah, blah. You know the whole storyline. And so when you get the girl from the original, you know the whole deal. You get the girl from the first American Horror Story who is about to have sex with her boyfriend. And in one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen American Horror Story do, which they're always like, we're gonna get weirder and weirder and weirder as possible. They have sex and the guy like dies. And
yeah, in the worst way possible too. He has like a seizure and then blood comes out of every orifice.
Horrible stuff.
I'm sure the entire season's going to show us that's not the worst way to die. I'm pretty sure they're going to show us that.
You're right. The worst way to die in the American Horror Story, at least in Coven, is to not die. Is to live forever.
Which, yeah, is which we can get back to that.
Yeah.
But then, so this girl gets sent off to the Coven, which is a school of 4 witches total, in this big mansion.
It's a pretty exclusive school.
It's very, yeah, it's hard to get into, bro. And so they kind of, you have all, you know, the kind of almost the cliques that you have in a high school. You have the kind of uppity rich girl played by Emma Roberts. Sorry, we lost Steve. And then we have the girl. Oh, and the other girl, the
Precious.
Poor girl. She's going to get called Precious forever. She's been in so much
shit.
shit.
So sad. And she's
so
won an
much
Oscar.
shit.
And did she win an Oscar?
And everyone still calls her Precious.
But Precious plays a human voodoo doll.
Yeah, which is cool.
She's actually the most interesting to me.
Yeah, especially in the second episode.
Yeah. So Emma Roberts can like move stuff with her mind. Yeah, telekinesis. Then you have the girl that gets burned alive. That's a witch that has the power to bring things back to life.
Yeah.
Necromancy. Yeah.
All these cool skills, right? And then main character fucks dudes to death.
So weird. So weird.
Yeah.
When because it happens. Fast forward in the first episode recap. Emma Roberts and the new girl go to a party where there's a group rape that happens, and they seek vengeance on these guys by flipping their bus using telekinesis. All these dudes die except for one who is the bad guy, the initiator of the horrible act. So the main girl goes in there while he's in the hospital bed and proceeds to kill him using the way that she can.
Yeah, but we can't forget to mention that we've got what's his name back, who is in the first 2 seasons of American Horror Story. That dude's freaking awesome.
Evan Peters, yeah.
Evan Peters, and you think, oh my god, he dies in the first episode, and you're like, what? Like, so what's going on here?
I feel like that's the thing though, is because we know like of casting of everything. You're like, he's definitely in it in some way.
We have to find out. And Sarah Paulson is back from the second season, who is the teacher, kind of like the headmaster of the witch school. And we can't forget the amazing, the always awesome Jessica Lange is back.
And the plot point there with Jessica Lange is basically, while most witches have 1 or 2 skills, Jessica Lange is known as, what is it?
I think it's the superior or something like that.
Something like that, yeah, where she has all of these powers, and so she's sort of like the super
There's
witch.
Supreme. Is it the Supreme? That's what it is. The
Supreme.
I love Taco Supreme because they put sour cream on it. And they don't do that on the other tacos.
For sure.
So the second episode is called Boy Parts. The main reason for that is that if you were confused in the first episode if the dude was dead, you definitely find out he was dead, like to the point that he just is a million pieces.
Yeah.
Is a million pieces.
Yeah.
And
Can we, let's talk about the physics of this real fast, because that, I understand, like, people getting hurt in car wrecks.
Don't you dare, because that happens.
But let's say this bus flips or whatever. All of these guys were just chopped up into like a ton of pieces. And so in my head, I'm watching and I'm like, what happened on this bus? Did they all have like machetes?
Well, first of all,
they were just like playing with them.
I forgot to mention that Kathy Bates' character has a voodoo curse put on her by Marie Laveau, the famous voodoo priestess. and she curses Kathy Bates to be alive
with
forever.
immortality.
Yeah, and
very clever.
Yeah, she kills everyone in her family, and she buries Kathy Bates underground to just live there forever. And the scariest part about that was she was like, even when this world dies, you'll still live through whatever the next thing is, which is terrifying. So she just live forever; she'll never die.
Well, what's really fun, is that Kathy Bates and Lang, they like Lang wants to live forever, and she wants to be beautiful forever, and then that happened. Kathy Bates is living forever.
Yeah.
And it's actually torture.
Yeah.
It comes to the point that it's just you get lost.
Yeah, yeah. And she said all she could hear and see was the sound of her family, her children that she loved so much. And it's so strange that Jessica Lange's character is obsessed with that, and she doesn't understand that it probably is a curse, like you were saying. It probably is like the worst thing in the world to just watch the world die, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that thematic element.
Yeah.
I feel like this show a lot of times I worry about it becoming so gratuitous and like shock for shock's sake, but like when they have these little through lines that kind of make you think like that, it's kind of cool.
So do you guys get the feeling that this is kind of like gearing more towards the female demographic this season at least? Because it definitely seems like we're all focused on the girls, the witches.
I think they're appealing to a younger demographic right now.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get the 13 to 17 range. At least it seems that way with a lot of the references they're making with like social media, and then they reference like Harry Potter, and they throw in these things that I think they're trying to grab.
Because it's kind of like True Blood light right now. But
You think
even though like American Horror Story, they always push the boundaries of like gore and sexual content and evil, horrible imagery, and that's what I love so much about the show. It's like the gutsiest, ballsiest horror themed thing that exists right now. Like not even horror movies get as creepy and fucked up as American Horror Story does, and I love that. But I feel like this season it really is kind of just like Harry Potter meets Twilight meets True Blood, but like you're right, more for the 17 to like 25-year-old.
At least that's what it seems. I mean, maybe it'll change later on down the road. But I
Yeah.
also appreciate, like we mentioned this with Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad took because I think DJ mentioned it, where he said that they took a show in a network where they had limitations and they had so much done, because it's not HBO, you can't throw whatever you want on there. And it's the same with this. FX does have limitations, not as much as the other ones, but I think so as a result this show is disturbing on like a psychological level more so than like the stuff you see. There's so few like Jack in the Box scares or whatever you call those, where they like pop out.
Just jump scares.
Very rarely does that happen. It's stuff that like taps into like your fears on like a weird subconscious level.
We find out that the pretty girl from the other season, who is the one that can resurrect things, is alive also. And she
With one of the coolest scenes with the gators eating guys.
really
That's crazy.
cool, really cool. And so I can't figure out. I love her Stevie Nicks thing going on though, like with Fleetwood Mac, and she's like, she even kind of has a Stevie Nicks look going on, which is very curious.
Did they say Stevie Nicks was a witch?
Yeah, they did. They totally did.
She plays Stevie Nicks, and she's like, just listen to the words.
Yeah.
And they're playing Fleetwood Mac the whole time.
And I feel like people like that, like the way she's acting and saying like Stevie Nicks is a witch, are just people you could meet in Venice, basically, or like on Hollywood Boulevard,
or
like,
Bourbon.
or Bourbon Street. Yeah. So do you guys get the feeling that she might be like evil, or like I can't tell. She's lonely. Yeah. She doesn't realize there's other witches. And then what's her name comes along with Frankenstein dude who can't quite control his body at all and is freaking out and doesn't understand anything. Do we get the feeling that she is like evil maybe? Like I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
I mean, I think they all could potentially be. I mean, you have a bunch of young witches. It's a bunch of young girls in their most vulnerable time with powers.
Yeah.
like if witches are real, I'm terrified. So fucking scared.
Yeah, well, because remember when the cops came and and they were trying to pit the murder of the school bus guys on the girls, and she's like, "We're witches, we did it, we did it," and she freaks out, and then like Jessica Lange just goes like, "Drink this shit," and then they like forget about everything. So that's terrifying. Like if they are witches, they could get away with murder and everything else, and then Jessica Lange is like, "You don't need to fear anybody but me."
Right.
Which is terrifying too.
Horrifying.
You know?
As for this necromancy girl, I like the fact that you don't know yet, because she has that face. She has that really cute, pretty face that at least in American Horror Story Asylum was like horrifying later.
Yeah.
Like when she went evil, it was that was the scariest most scared I've been.
Yeah, she was just basically like a demon nun.
Yeah.
In that, and it was terrifying. A possessed nun.
She still creeps me out. Like what we've seen so far is nothing compared to at least Asylum for me.
We find out that Marie Laveau is alive, and it looks beautiful and young still, 100 years later, or however long it is. And she runs like a hair salon, and Jessica Lange goes to visit her because Jessica Lange finds out that Kathy Bates' character is living forever, which is what Jessica Lange wants. So she goes to Marie Laveau, and you find out that the witches and the voodoo people kind of have this, like, headbutting thing going on through time, through history.
Dude, I didn't even put that together. I didn't realize it was like this thing. I thought it was
because as like Marie Laveau is doing Jessica Lange's hair, they're just talking about kind of like the history of who became magical first, like, and where the magic came from.
Everything you learned came from us.
Yeah, it came from us, and everything you learned came from us. And she's like, Jessica Lange's like, you're gonna tell me that a 14-year-old illiterate girl taught like the witches how to do spells and stuff. So it's just you kind of get this really cool, rich history about like the witchcraft and voodoo there. That's really, really cool. And then we find out that Marie Laveau absolutely will not give Jessica Lange the secrets to immortality, and that pisses Jessica Lange off. She just burns some weaves in the background. She burns the hair off those.
The ultimate thing that you're not supposed to do. Can I say something? I kind of enjoy it, but I am so disappointed by this season. Can I just throw that out there?
Well,
I am too.
episode 2 though.
So far,
I know, but
I was super disappointed.
I'm hoping that it has the opposite. It's going on the opposite course of season 2. Season 2 is so mysterious, creepy, weird. What the fuck? And then it turns into a different show the last 3 episodes, and I can totally dig that. I'm hoping that we go somewhere creepy, and this is like a build-up.
Yeah.
That we're on this rise together, and we're gonna get some payoff. Because really, I look at the first episode, and I'm like, girl that fucks dudes to death. Emma Roberts is Lindsay Lohan with magic powers.
and not fucked up.
and then a gang rape happened because it was these creators of this show, so we had to include something terrible.
It's these guys.
These guys, right?
The guys that made Glee, by the way. Only they could come up with the most terrible things, like a gang rape. I loved the second season. It was actually my favorite so far of all of them. It just kind of got that inner old Catholic scared boy out of me because of like all the nuns and the insane asylum and stuff like that. So you're right. This one, my wife loves it, but because it's like I feel like the focal point is women.
I think it is definitely. It's like bad bitches.
Yeah,
and it's cool,
Yeah.
and I think it's very girl power, and that's awesome. But I'm still open to the series. I'm just saying that the setup so far, I don't know.
My only worry is that, like, because I watched True Blood up until maybe, like, the 3rd season or something, and then it just got, like, really bad. And I'm just worried that we're going to get, like, a True Blood
No,
type
in no way do I think that they will give us any terrible bullshit like True Blood, right?
Yeah.
And I have no problem shitting on what that show has become the past few seasons.
Yeah.
But you can even argue a lot of like early stuff, but
yeah. I feel like, or go ahead, because I was going to say Emma Roberts is going to keep me interested.
Emma Roberts will keep me in.
I like Emma Roberts' character. I hope Evan Peters' character becomes a sentient person. Sentient, is that right?
And not just a
not
golem.
just a monster.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, my biggest concern with it right now is the character. There's no character that is like really compelling. I think they're all very kind of black and white. Like Jessica Lange's bad, and Kathy Bates is bad, and everybody's bad, and it's just like I want that person that you don't know what's up. Like Zachary Quinto in the last season was very.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he had that you in the big 180 with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was amazing, and I'm hoping there's something like that. And that it comes soon, because otherwise I might lose interest.
Episode 3, aliens.
Also, mummies. We got mummies coming out.
Well, we did that. We have mummies. It's Kathy.
Season 4, it's going to tie
Well,
it all
that's true.
together with time travel and wormholes.
Yep.
Oh,
It was
shit.
all connected.
Dude, that's what I want next. I want American Horror Story
No.
time travel.
Fuck you.
Well, all right. So anyway, that's it for the show, guys. Let us know what you thought about this episode in the comments down below, and we hope you join us next time. I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Philip DeFranco.
Amelia Morgan.